Alright, so I don't usually do updates on videos that I have already done. But a lot of people are asking, or maybe persons genuinely don't know that I have already done a video on this. But the question is usually, can you give me some tips? Or what are some of the questions that might come up during the panel interview? Now, the amount of persons wanting tips or specifics about the interview is a lot, given that the JCF has been ramping up its recruiting, trying to meet their target of 18,000 boots on the ground. Interviews, guys, are for persons to sell themselves or convince the panelists that you are the best man or woman for the job. And so it is a wise idea to be prepared, or you run the risk of failing your interview. Some questions are most likely to be asked than others, and so it is really a good idea to be prepared for the ones that we can expect to come up during our interview. Now, guys, as a disclaimer, some of the questions are dependent on the persons conducting the interview, while others are based on you, the individual, and how well you answer the questions that are being asked. Now, one of the challenges that I face is that persons are looking for exact questions along with the answer sheet. That I can't help you with, guys, but as I said earlier, I can give you a rundown on some of the most commonly asked questions, which should help you prepare and help you to ace your interview. But before we get into that, I'll appreciate it if you guys dropped a like on this video, subscribe if you are new here, and hit the post notification bell if you want to get notified for future content. Now, guys, here are some pro tips. Don't turn up late for your interview. Get there ahead of time. It's better to be early than be a minute late. It says a lot about you as a person. And dress appropriately for the part. Maybe you can't answer all the questions, but you stand a very good chance of passing that interview with the right attitude. And ensure that you do some research on the organization. You must have some knowledge, basic knowledge about the organization that you are trying to be a part of. Know the JCF motto, research its mission statement, know who is the head of the JCF and who the deputies are along with their portfolio, and know when the organization was established. That is the proper way to prepare yourself for any job interview. You must know something about the company. Now, the interview is very simple and straightforward. Anyone who goes into that interview room won't have the same experience. So my advice is for you guys to go in there with an open mind and be prepared to be asked random questions that you weren't prepared for. And if that's the case, don't panic, just relax and stay calm. The more confident and clear you are with your answers during the interview, the smoother and shorter it will be. Now, you will be asked some character questions to give the interviewers a clear idea of the type of persons that you are, and to get a general view of your knowledge regarding the JCF. Now, let's get right into some of the most important questions you must be prepared for. The first one, guys, and this will always be on the list: why do you want to be a cop? Before anything else, ensure you have a clear idea of why you want to be a police officer. Most people go in with the generic answer of wanting to serve and protect. That is a part of policing, right? Being a part of JCF is so much more than that, though. So try to stand out from the rest and use this opportunity to sell yourself. Bring the hammer down on this question, guys, and you should be golden. Now, next on the list is tell us about yourself. This is another one of those essential questions. I did a video on this particular question and how to go about answering it. Link is in the description. Other possible questions are: what does honesty and integrity means to you? This has to do with your decision making in relation to doing the right thing versus doing the wrong thing. Next, you want to ensure that you have the most up-to-date info on the ministers of government and know the names of at least 4 essential cabinet ministers along with their portfolios. Now, essential being like the Prime Minister, the Minister of National Security, the Finance Minister, and so on and so forth, guys. Here's a pro tip: While Dr. Horace Chang is the Minister of National Security, he is also the Deputy Prime Minister. He is in charge of the government whenever the Prime Minister is out of office on government business. As I stated before, guys, you should research the organization and know who the top brass is, because anyone who is trying to be a police officer must know who the Commissioner of Police is, who his deputies are, and their portfolios. I remember when I did my first interview, there was a person there who failed because he didn't remember the name of the Commissioner of Police. Don't let this happen to you, guys. Now, the JCF has 11 ranks from constable to the Commissioner of Police. It's possible you will be asked to name a couple of them. And know also the date when the JCF was established. This is a commonly asked question. All this information is available on the JCF website. Next possible questions are: what will you bring to the JCF, or what changes would you make right within the JCF, or what is the JCF about? This particular question requires you to know the JCF mission statement. That is why I said you should know all of them something. Good. The JCF is divided into 5 geographical areas, area 1 to 5. It is very important that you know which area you are from and who is in charge of it. Now, if you don't know the national anthem, if you don't know the national song or the pledge, get yourself familiar with them. I know persons who were asked about those songs and the anthem and the pledge, and even persons who were asked to sing the national anthem. Guys, if you are asked to sing the national anthem or the song, I will say the pledge, make sure you always stand to do the honors. Now, the Director of Public Prosecution, know who it is along with the Commissioner of Indicom. Guys, these are the most commonly asked questions I know of that applicants are being asked whenever they go to do their interviews. But separate and apart from those, you may also be asked scenario-based questions like: what if you see your colleague being involved in corruption or taking bribe out there whilst on patrol? What action would you take, if any? Questions along those lines. And guys, if there's a question that you don't quite understand and you need clarity, ask for clarification. Don't ramble when you're answering your questions, and don't volunteer any information. Only answer what you were asked. Don't act like you know everything when actually you don't know jack shit. Be truthful and say you don't know. And at the end of the interview, they might ask if you have any questions. Have at least 2 questions prepared to ask the panelists, right? But yeah, that should do it for this video. Guys, if you already did your panel interview, please leave those questions that you were asked in the comment section. I know it will be a huge help to those who are in the process and are looking towards acing their panel interview. And as always, guys, thanks for watching. Catch you in the next one. Blessings.